Welcome back to In Your Neighborhood. Growing up in Loyalsock Township, Ravi Evans began his musical education in elementary school.
I started playing saxophone back in 3rd grade. Originally I was going to do drums, but my parents were happier. I chose a lot less noisier instrument, so they thought.
Yeah.
You heard a lot of squeaks and squawks, and that was in 3rd grade, so we're rounding close to between 25 and 30 years ago. I would play like for events at church or specials, and then as I got into like junior high school, and then once I started high school, I started playing the national anthem for a lot of the basketball games and football games. So that carried me through to be able to let public hear me play a little more. And then we formed a group in college where we were able to travel different places and play. And in college, I went to school in Florida. So we, at one summer, traveled up and down the coast of Florida, just played different jazz clubs. Had a chance to play the House of Blues down in Orlando, Florida. And that was neat because B.B. King was there the same night, so we got a chance to hear him and then kind of go up on stage and jam with him a little bit.
That's quite an impressive gig to have on your resume. Ravi has continued to play the national anthem at more than a dozen Williamsport Crosscutter games, and this year for the first time at the Selinsgrove Speedway. It's only been in the last few years that he's become known around the area as the Sax Man. He has branched out into more venues, including a regular gig at Barnes & Noble in Lewisburg.
I have a standing once a month gig there, and through the area, just different places like First Fridays. The last time I played in front of Robin's Nest down here in Lewisburg. So it's opened the opportunity to be able to play different places and events, and I travel now to different churches and play.
He and other local musicians have formed the Blue River Jazz Group that will be playing in venues around the area in the coming months. On the night we caught up with him, Ravi was at Barnes & Noble with his guitarist, Mike Swigert, and drummer, Frank Sorello. Their sets covered a wide range of musical styles, including Tom Petty and some of Mike's own songs.
I like to go back and forth. I'll go from like Louis Armstrong to Judy Garland, to Doris Day, to Frank Sinatra, to Johnny Cash, to Boots Randolph. If you don't have a piano player, it's hard to do like a lot of Ray Charles stuff. But if you have an acoustic guitarist, you could do like John Mellencamp stuff. Or you could do, like he did, Tom Petty stuff. So it's neat to change up musicians because you can always change up your style too. And that's neat. And that gets the word out there that people know that you're well-versed and you can do any style.
While Ravi can read music, he prefers to play by ear.
For the most part, I can read if I have to, but if I hear the song once, normally I can just play it right away.
Most of what he plays is unrehearsed.
We'll just pull charts out like, I'll say, okay, do you know this one? Yeah, let's go, boom, and we'll just do it live right there. And I think it's always neat to go in and ad-lib a lot. I mean, you know, you don't want to do it all the time, but you know, if both of you know the chart, and you both know how to comfortably play it, and it's a jazz style. Most people who are familiar with jazz know that nobody who does jazz goes from point A to the very end of the chart and back straight through. They like to do a lot of, you know, going around it and different things like that. So I played an event, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and somebody asked about a song. I didn't know it. My piano player knew it. He played it once through. I came in and jammed with him, and after he got done playing, I told him, I said, we never played that before, never rehearsed before. Right there is the first time you ever heard us play it, right there.
Ravi also enjoys using his talents to help the community. He plays at Milton, Mifflinburg, and Lewisburg Relay for Life events during the summer, and recently put together a benefit for the Expectations Women's Center in Lewisburg.
When you do the music and get paid for it, that's great. But, you know, I think when you do a benefit, you should have just as much energy to do that, you know. Like, I won't ever play a saxophone for an event that I don't 100% feel like I want to do, or my heart's not in it. I just won't do it, you know. Yeah. There's a lot of musicians out there that'll play anything and for anyone, and I'm just not that kind of person. I gotta really love the cause, and plus I really gotta love what I'm doing at the time, or the style I'm doing, or whatever.
He credits his parents and his grandfather not only with nurturing his love of music, but also of teaching him the value of using his passion to benefit others.
They instilled, really good values to me. Always do well for others. If you're giving a talent, from the good Lord upstairs, you give it back to the community or whoever, And that, I think that alone can set the tone for how you live your life. When I walk away from playing for an evening and I've at least made somebody happy or made their evening go a little better because I heard some good music, or brighten their day, I think that did it for me. That was worth going and set up, even if it was 5 people in the audience. That was worth it,
After nearly 30 years, Ravi still enjoys pulling out his sax after a long day of work.
I'll get stressed out about this, that, or everything, but I'll pick up the saxophone and start playing, and about half an hour later, you feel a lot better.
As long as it's fun, Ravi will be the sax man for many, many years to come.
If the day comes where I stop enjoying it, then I'll stop.
I don't think that's likely to be anytime soon. Just ahead, we'll introduce you to Sleuth, so stick around.